Hold
everybody,
on.
once again. Oh,
Now we're live. Now
oh,
you're
now
live.
we're live. Okay, there's always something new to learn, and here in Rogue Kitchen, we learn by playing with our food. It's Rogue Kitchen Live. Hi, everybody. Thanks again for joining us today. We're trying out some new broadcasting software today, so I think we got it all figured out. Thanks to Jimmy Webb. Thank you, Jimmy, for taking care of all that.
Thanks to Jensen Cummins for the suggestion, and thanks for this awesome software that I'm pointing to up here. So
Yeah.
far, so good. If
All right.
today goes well, then we'll transfer on over. So
Very good.
take it
Very
away.
good. Well, it seems like a really good platform to use. So yeah. So today we've got we're doing an Italian Farro Bowls. You might be asking, what's Farro? What is that? Well, it's a type of grain. It's a fairly nutritious grain. It's a great alternative to any kind of brown rice or white rice. In fact, we've got some going here in the back. Here, as you can see on the stove cam here. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn that down and put a lid on it, and we'll let it go for about 12 minutes here. As always, I'm going to set my timer because I will forget. So we'll set our timer here. And hopefully y'all can help me keep an eye on that guy and hopefully we can get that going. But anyway, our Italian Farro Bowl is going to be filled with a lot of ingredients. We've got a roasted beet and herb butter sauce that we're going to put with that. I'm going to go through how to make a compound herb butter. Fairly simple. We use compound butters a lot, but we'll get into that here in just a second. To that sauce, we're going to add some raw red bell pepper there. We've got some onions roasting with the beets in the oven. We're going to add some roasted almonds. We'll go ahead and put those guys in the oven now. We'll roast those for a few minutes. All right. Now I'll give it a really nice kind of a nutty flavor there to go along with the nutty
Bring out
flavor.
some of the oils there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll complement the nutty flavor of the farro there. So we'll talk about that farro here in just a second. We're gonna add some garlic to that sauce as well, and then we're going to do honey glazed chicken. So we'll take some diced up chicken thighs. We're gonna saute those up, add some garlic to it, add some honey, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, and some chicken stock. Let that reduce down, let it cook, and get a nice little glaze on there for us. All right. And to that, we'll add some onion, or excuse me, some olive slices, some chickpeas, and of course, we'll add some ciliegie, mozzarella. All right, just little tiny mozzarella balls there. We'll put some herbs and some olive oil and a little bit of balsamic vinegar on there or something. So I really like doing bowls. You can do like a brown rice bowl with sweet potatoes and shrimp, or if you're familiar with like a poke bowl or something, it's like with the raw fish there and the grains and a bunch of other ingredients there. But they're always really fun to play with, because you can put all kinds of things in there, and you can eat them individually, or you can mix them up and eat them like that. So it's a great way to get your nutrients. It's a fun little meal to make, and it's a fun little meal to eat there. So with that, so I've got our beets already roasting. All right, I'll go just kind of demonstrate here how to peel a beet. This one's gold. I've got the red ones in the oven already, but just kind of demonstrate the process of kind of a simple way to peel a beet. I know sometimes they can get kind of messy and whatnot, so we'll go through that process there. But let's talk about farro a little bit here. So farro is kind of a species of grains. There's all different varieties of it, and this stuff is a bulgur wheat here. It's really small, but when it cooks up, it swells up a little bit. And even some like barley and pearl barley and whatnot, they're part of that species as well. And that adds a really nice kind of a nutty flavor to your dish, and kind of a nice little not like, it adds a nice crunch to your dish, but not like a nut or like a raw grain or something. It's a crunchier texture than a rice or something. So they're always fun to play with, and you can use those in stir fries, and so it's a great alternative. And they don't take long to cook. Like this bulgur wheat here that I'm cooking will only take about 12 minutes to cook. So they don't take long at all. So
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. So so in the meantime here, let me demonstrate here how to go through and peel a beet. Sometimes
Yeah, this is definitely a skill that is learned for sure. It's not
yeah,
inherent.
yeah, and it's something, you look at this round vegetable with, I cut the root end off here, and sometimes you might be a little, maybe intimidating, but or the beet might be a little intimidating just because of, like, how do I peel this thing? How do I prepare it and whatnot? So I always like to wear gloves with these things. I think it's just, I think it's a good idea. Saves your hands from getting all red. And again, I'm using a gold one, but the process is still the same. So I just like, being sure that you have a glove on. And
gloves are one of those things that I think everybody should have in their kitchen and their garage.
Oh, definitely.
And not enough people do. And if you can't find them, you get them at Costco sometimes, you get on Amazon, or if you go to a restaurant supply store. Bar Green Ellington has it's open to the public and you can go in there and get gloves. So
oh, nice, very good. A lot of times people will use or you could use a paring knife, like a small knife or something to peel this with. Personally, I like using a Y peeler. That right there is the best peeler. You can find them at H Mart, or you can order them on Amazon as well. But I think this particular type of Y peeler is great. It fits in the hand nicely, and these blades stay sharp for a long, long time. Very easy to handle, very easy to maneuver around your food, whether you're peeling apples or beets or carrots, whatever you're peeling. It takes just the right amount of skin off. Some peelers are, they're really, really sharp.
Yeah, some peelers dig in way too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And like some of the long peelers, the blades are really sharp, and if you want to like peel asparagus or something, or even just a carrot, sometimes they can take way too much off. So we want to definitely minimize the amount of product we take off of there. But so what I like to do is like to hold the beet. I'm going to turn the screen down here just a tad.
Now, real quick, while we're on the topic of peelers,
sure.
What's that little notch on the edge of the peeler? What do you use that for?
That right there would be a channel knife. And I actually have something we can demonstrate with that. That one's pretty bumpy. Here we go. This is a good one. So this is kind of cool. Let me do this beet here, and since I've got cucumbers from the garden.
Sorry to derail.
No, that's fine. No, that's great. I'm glad you brought that up. Since we got cucumbers from the garden, we'll just add that to our bowl tonight. That'll be delicious. All right, so on our beet, like I said, we've got the stem end here, or the root end here, okay? And so let's hold the beet firm in your hand, like so. And again, the Y peeler makes this easy, super easy. You just peel it all around, getting yourself very nice, even peels. And you can see it's not taking a lot of that beet off there. And it goes fairly quickly. And like Jimmy said, I mean, it is a skill, like a lot of things with food. You just have to do it a couple times to get comfortable with it. But there you've got a beautifully peeled beet there. And we don't have a lot of, like I said, sometimes peelers get so, they're so aggressive, they leave huge gouges or huge marks in your food there. And I definitely like using this. But so when I cut off that root end, you can see I've got myself a nice little flat edge there, right? So I use that edge and I put that, or that flat surface, I put that down on my cutting board, and now my beet won't move, right? So now from here, I could dice this if I wanted to. I like beet wedges. They look cool. They look nice, and they're easy to eat. So we'll just cut this guy in half. Again, if we went north to south here, pretend like the vegetable had poles on it. All right. So
which way are the mountains?
Well, maybe along the equator. I don't know. But here you can see this is like a candy stripe beet, isn't that?
Oh,
Man, I
nice,
love.
nice.
Yeah, I love it when beets have
You love
those
golden
little.
beets.
Oh yeah, golden
Out of
beets are
the
great.
three varieties, the three typical varieties, golden beets are definitely my favorite.
Yeah, they're great, and they're not messy either, like red beets are. Um, so and then we'll just cut that. Find kind of the center line there and cut that in half. And we just cut that in half again, and that might be that's still pretty good size. So we can probably just cut that little piece in half there, and now we've got some little bite-sized pieces there, or maybe two biters there that we can use. So I'll just continue to cut these guys up here, and then we can season these up, and I'll throw them in the saute pan back here, and along with our beet sauce, our beet herb sauce that we're going to make there, we can add these as well. So now I'll go ahead and season these guys up first and just drop them straight into the pan. All right, as always, we get our pan hot. I'm working on a smaller burner over here. Let's do a little olive oil here, maybe half teaspoon or so. And we'll just go straight up salt and pepper, because we've got quite a bit of other flavors going on here. All right, and toss those in there. All right, we'll wait for our pan to get a little warmer over here. All right, but now back to Jimmy's point about what that little piece is there on the side of the peeler there. I said that's called a channel knife. And what we'll do with that, we'll cut a little bit of a cucumber off here. A lot of times you'll see like in restaurants or on hotel, like on buffet displays or something, you'll see these cucumbers and they'll have like these ridges cut in them. And that's what that little.
They look like little gears sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So we just take that, and I don't know if this one's going to work that well. Let's see here. Yeah, that one doesn't work as well. Another one. Bummer. That one's not as sharp, but it'll cut.
A lot of times what I use that for too, though, is digging out the eyes in potatoes. Like you get the little where the roots start to grow. A lot of times you can just kind of press that into the hole and just like scoop it out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea there. Let's see if this other one works well. I've got another green peeler here. I don't know if that little plastic one's going to work well. Nope. A little plastic channel knife isn't working that great. Well, either way.
That's all right. Either that or you have a really thick skinned cucumber there.
Yeah. Some of our home cucumbers have been the skin has been a little tough lately. So I'm going to turn this heat down. We've got a really aggressive steam going on this here. So, all right. So we've got the timer for our farro grains there. So I'm going to turn that off. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and turn our heat off.
How about those almonds back there too?
Yeah, I'll definitely check those. Thank you. So I've turned off the heat here on these grains. So I'm just going to set off to the side and let that kind of steam for just a few minutes. I always like to let my grains steam for a little bit. Yeah. See, now we've got some nice. Whoa, we've got some nice. Oh man, they smell wonderful. A little bit dark there. I think I'm gonna let them go just a few more minutes there. All right.
Yeah. Once they get to that point, though, you really want to watch them and make sure you're checking on them.
Nuts
definitely. Will go quick.
Yeah, you're right. Once they get to a point, boy, they really they really take off on you. So, but yeah, I like to let my grains. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these beets in here. Oh yeah, so you got a nice hot pan. All right, we'll lay all these guys down. We'll just let those kind of slowly caramelize for a little bit. Get our heat down a little bit. But on grains, even if you're cooking like a long grain rice, like a basmati rice, I definitely like to let those steam a little bit after the cooking time. It really gives the rice a chance to absorb all that moisture and really get thoroughly cooked there. So I like to keep the lid on for a few minutes there. But All right, so on a compound butter here, if we move on to that, compound butter is made, this might seem really easy, but I always like to have these things around and use them for different things. Really, a compound butter is just butter with, like 2 or 3 other ingredients added to it. Today, we're going to take some fresh herbs straight from the garden. We've got some thyme, got some basil, and we've got some parsley here that we're going to add to our butter.
Nice.
A lot of times when you make garlic bread at home, with pasta or something like that, you're basically making a compound butter. If you add Parmesan cheese, dried herbs, and some garlic to it, you're making a compound butter. So it's just nice to have that around, and kind of show you another little kitchen hack for storing this stuff. And then how when you go to use it, then how you can cut some slices off and use the butter there. So this butter today will be mostly white with the herbs mixed in. We could definitely do this like in a food processor, and it would chop up the herbs and make it a little green. But we don't really want that we don't want that color of green going into our beet sauce whenever we puree those beets in our food processor here. So I'm just going to take a few leaves of some parsley here. All right, we'll take some basil as well. These basil leaves are always really small, but that's all right. I think basil and beets goes together fairly well, so we'll take off these. And on these guys, I'm taking the stem off. Parsley, I leave the stem in there a little bit because we'll end up chopping it up. But I'm just gonna stack all this stuff together here, and I'm just gonna kind of line all this stuff up. I kind of gather it all together here into kind of roll it like you would a cigar or something. And again, we'll just kind of chiffonade that into really thin slices here. And we get a lot of flavor out of this. It mixes in with the butter. And then we get some really thin strips too that kind of that will disperse throughout the sauce here. So I'll just turn it kind of like so, and then go back across it like so. Man, that basil is really, really fragrant. Really good. All right, so we'll just add that straight into our butter there. I always like adding thyme with a lot of fresh herbs, or with a lot of things, as you all know. Love using the thyme. So we'll peel some of those off there, and a lot of these upper stems are quite tender, so we don't have to really worry about picking everything off. As long as we get the woody part out of there. So we'll just kind of run our knife through this here a little bit, and we'll just chop up our thyme. You see them kind of, with chopping herbs, you kind of chop them up a little bit, and they kind of spread out and around your cutting board here a little. Here, and just kind of gather it all back up. Just kind of chop, just little chops. We don't want real big ones, right? Because we've got thyme leaves are fairly small, so we want to make sure we do little chops here.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't want to get it too much, because if you do, then it'll turn green, and that's not really the color we're looking for, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. We're really looking for the flavor here on this. So. All right, and then I don't know why, but this tool reminds me of my grandmother for some reason.
Which tool?
I'm about ready to show you. Little hand mixer.
This guy. Nice. Yeah.
I always used to use the KitchenAid mixer, but that thing gets kind of cumbersome.
Sometimes the KitchenAid is just too big.
Too big, yeah. And now on the compound butter here, I had pulled the butter out, and I actually let it set overnight. I don't, that's my personal preference. Gets to a nice pliable room temperature there. It's nice and soft. So if you try to put herbs on top of cold butter and try to whip those together, So it's really going to be a challenge to get that done. So
Yeah,
whenever
I mean, the herbs will fly everywhere, and then you end up
yeah,
mixing it too much, and then you get that green color that spreads through the butter because you're putting too much effort into mixing it.
yeah, yeah, you don't get and then you don't get an even distribution of your herbs in there. And um, so it's definitely a good idea to leave your butter out. And in the kitchen, we call that tempering, just because we want the butter to come up to a nice room temperature there. So I'm just going to turn these beets over here. We're starting to get some color here on our beets. Some nice little color there.
There we go.
We'll keep that going. And at some point, we'll get some butter in there, and that'll really help caramelize those things. So, all right. So we'll just go in.
Back to that mixer.
Yeah, back to the mixer here. So we'll just, seems kind of aggressive here, but we just mix that herb butter all together. Make sure we get those herbs nice and dispersed. And the beaters kind of beat the herbs too a little bit. So we pull their flavors out into the butter as well. We just want to thoroughly mix all this together. Again, this is real simple. Simple technique here, but kind of like
now on the note of leaving your butter out.
Yeah,
I leave my butter out on the counter. I have a little butter dish. Leave it out on the counter. How about you?
Yeah, you know, we leave. Like we've got one over here on our coffee bar that we leave out for the kids, you know, and when they want to, when they want to make some toast or something in the morning, you know, it's easy to spread, and we go through it fast enough too, you know, where it doesn't sit for a couple of days. Well, I won't say
we do
it like a week, you know, or something, but
same here, and we tend to we don't do a full stick. We do about a half a stick, and
okay,
we go through that, and we just kind of try to manage that too.
Yeah, you know, like with baking, it's, you know, I like to leave the butter out. Of course, if you're making like biscuits or scones or something, you know, it's good to have that cold butter. But like if you're making like cookies or muffins or cupcakes or something, sometimes or cakes. It's definitely a good idea to let your butter temper up, because it's easier to work with, and you don't get big lumps of butter, and you get an even distribution of butter in there in your baked products. So, all right. And so when we're done, we just have this butter of, with all these beautiful herbs in there, and you can season this up with salt if you'd like. I leave it out, and then I just I'll salt or season whatever I am cooking. So I typically leave the salt out of that. So then, now if we want to store this stuff, but we want to keep it for a long time, you could put it into like a glass dish or something, put a lid on it. It'll keep for about a week in the refrigerator, and maybe 3 or 4 weeks in the freezer. But what I like to do, and this is why I buy a ton of this stuff. All right, I use plastic wrap for almost everything. Yeah, no, this is great. It's like 3,000 square feet for like $15 at Costco. I think this thing has lasted like 3 or 4 years. It's great. It's an awesome product to have around. So what I do is I pull out a sheet, maybe about 12, 13 inches long. It has this great cutter on there too, so you don't get that plastic that you have to sit there, gets kind of stuck on itself, and you're having to pull it all apart.
No finger cutters.
Yeah, no, it has that nice little sliding blade on it, so it's great. So, all right, so then like with this was two sticks of butter on here, so I like to put it on here, and then all right, and then I just like to what I'm going to end up doing here is rolling this up into a little log. So we'll turn this around here a bit. There we go. All right, let me take out these gloves. Latex and plastic wrap tend to stick together.
Yeah,
really.
They stick.
They definitely stick. But so then just kind of you can spread this out. You know what? We're going to do it this way. So I just take this and roll it like so. And you just take your hand, you just kind of, you push the butter back and you roll it into a nice little log there. Like so. We'll unroll this here a little bit. All right. And just roll it up like that. And you've got the ends here like so, and you take those and you just kind of twirl it around a little bit. Now you've got yourself a nice little log of compound butter.
There you go.
Pop that in the freezer, you know, and then whenever you need some, you just take it out and you can just cut right through the plastic. And you can, of course, you know, coming out of the freezer,
soft right now. Yeah.
It's soft now, yeah, but you know, when it comes out of the freezer, you'll have these nice little discs then that you can throw into, you know, you can throw into your pasta or
steak.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Grilling a steak or grilling a piece of salmon, you could put that, put that butter on top of your meats there and baste it up. So we'll come back to that here in just a little bit. So we'll plop that guy in there.
All right. Well, you're real quick. Let's say hi to everybody. We got Kathy, Diane, Pam, Alice, and I know Susan, you're out there.
Hello.
Both Kathys. Laura Limpy, thanks for joining us. Hope you're learning something on this recipe. Looks like Aaron said he's watching this on his commute home.
Oh, very good. Hello, Aaron.
And Brittany says, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. But out there in the ether, we do not in the ether, but Carol Krugman, she's watching. She just can't comment. So I'm getting some text coming through on here. But she says hi. She grew up eating borscht and basically having it shoveled down her throat. But she's cheering on for the butter, and much better with butter.
Much better with butter. Everything's better with butter. That's right. All right, so we're gonna make this this honey glazed chicken here, and I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? You're telling me about those almonds there, Jimmy.
Oh, yep. Where are we at with those?
They're probably a little hot there. I'm going to grab a bowl here and put them in there. Here we go.
Oh, they look good over there, though.
Well, it's not bad. They're not bad. It actually looks pretty good. Look, roasty toasty. So cast iron's hot. All right, while the pan is heating up here, I'm gonna check our beets. I'll pull those out and show everybody here. Oh yeah, it should be good. We've got, boy. Yeah, we got a few more minutes on those guys there, but yeah, there we go. Some beets and onions there. So I combine the beets and onions. Season them up with salt and pepper. All right. We'll. All
right. So these are beets that you started earlier.
That's correct. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Started.
So we just had a dice on those, and then.
Yep.
Same treatment as the golden beets.
That's correct. Yep. Peeled those, cut them into wedges, and I cut those wedges down. They would cook a little bit faster there. So, all right. So we're going to do this chicken here. So I've got some diced chicken thighs here. All right. It's about four individual thighs. I'm going to throw in a little bit of oil here. All right. Let that pan get a little bit hotter there, I think, but let's check it out here. Yeah, we'll go with that. There we go. Nice sizzle on the chicken there. Just kind of spread that out a bit.
All right, so on the chicken,
we want to get this
boneless chicken thighs cut into half-inch cubes.
Yep. And I trimmed off the fat too that the chicken had on there. So all right.
So yeah, like we mentioned, we're trying out new software, so I'm trying to post all the down that way. The ingredients, I'll try to post them as we go.
Yeah. A lot of times I find too when I'm cooking things, I think, okay, you know, like these beets have got some nice browning going on here with them. You know, but I'd kind of like to bring them along a little bit more. I like for them to cook maybe a little bit faster. So I would always good idea to keep chicken stock around. You know, whatever your favorite brand is. But like we'll go over here to our little butter dish here. What I'm going to do is here's that butter. I'm going to take a little spoonful of our butter here, maybe about a half a tablespoon or so, and throw that in there. Let that melt in. And then what I'll do is take some of that chicken stock, and I'll throw that chicken stock in there, and we kind of steam them just a little bit.
Yep.
And that'll help cook them a little bit more, and that butter adds a nice little richness to them. So there we go. You could use white wine too if you'd like. Woo.
Yeah, so you got all that good color, and now when you add the liquid, you're really kind of just steaming it. You get that wet cooking method, and it helps surround it in the heat a little bit more instead of just at the contact point.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of have to stir them up a little bit. Let that reduce down to almost dry there, and then we'll have some nicely caramelized beets there. So, all right. So on our chicken here too, you know, we're going to be adding some honey to it. That's going to be reducing down. We'll get a nice little brown color on there. You know, so we've got quite a bit of roasted flavor going on here with this, but I think we're good. Let's check out our farro here. See how we're doing on this. Oh yeah, I think we're good on that guy. Take this.
And so with the farro, you brought that up to a boil.
Yep.
And then you just left it covered and let it kind of steam on its own heat, right?
That's right. Yep. So now we've got this nice fluffy farro here. All right.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Man.
Is that similar in texture to quinoa?
It is, yeah. It definitely is. Has a very similar texture. All right. So now we've checked those guys out. We're gonna taste one of these guys and see how we're doing. Our beets here. Go a little bit longer. Stir up our chicken here a little bit. You know, and we've gotten a little bit more golden brown on there, but that's all right. All right. So we've kind of seared the chicken here for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere around in there. So we get some nice caramelization here on our chicken thighs. We've got a nice sear on there. Okay. So I'm going to take my garlic cloves here. I'll throw that in. I put those on the microplane, and I'll stir that around. Oh man, that's lovely. All right. And we'll take 1 or 2 tablespoons here of our rice wine vinegar. And we need about 1/3 cup here of our honey. About a little bit more there. There we go. All right, we'll stir that around, make sure we get that honey dissolved in there. All right, so I'm about a medium-high heat right now. We'll add just a bit of chicken stock here, and we'll just let that reduce. So now all that's reducing.
So kind of the same function there. That kind of helps cook everything, right? Getting all that liquid in there helps finish cooking.
Yeah, we don't get all that. yeah, we don't get that. We don't get, you know, it doesn't burn on the bottom and stuff. So, all right, we're gonna pull out our beets here. Some of our onions got a little caramelized here, so we'll just pull those guys off. It's all right. And again, this is, you know, because it's a bowl, it's, you know, we just need a little bit of it there. So there we go. We got some nice roasted beets and onions there. All right, shake everything loose on the pan. I'm gonna go right into our food processor here with that. I'll turn the computer this way here a bit. All right, there we go. I'll get that down in there. Whew, warm.
Yeah, watch those fingers.
Watch those fingers. Use the spatula here and find one. Here we go. Little offset spatula. I use I line the pan with foil here. Less cleanup later on, you know.
Yep.
I like using foil, just like I like using plastic wrap. It's great to have.
Yeah, I love my silicone mats too.
Oh yeah, silicone mats are great.
You can get a 2-pack from Amazon for relatively cheap. I want to say under $20 for 2 of them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a really good price for those. Those are great for cooking biscuits too, or scones and bread and stuff like that. They're really nice for that. They were pretty good. All right, so our beets here are golden beets that we're searing in our pan. We've got some nice color on those guys there. We're right where we need to be on texture. So I'm going to turn those off and just let them hang out. Our chicken is simmering away nicely here. We've got a little bit there before we can get that.
And you're letting that reduce down to kind of make a sauce, right?
That's correct. Yep, absolutely. All right, so now we'll take some of our roasted almonds here, about a half of a cup worth. Let me, oh yeah, no, those are actually really good. Sorry if you can hear the crunch there. But take about a half a cup of our almonds, and we'll throw those in. We'll take our garlic as well, and we'll throw those in. All right. Kind of like we did with our gazpacho soup last week, we'll kind of blend this in stages. So I want to really break up all those almonds in there, and really want to break up the beets too. So I'm just gonna puree this up a little bit here. I want to go for a little bit here. A little bit of a drier mixture, but quite all right. All right, now we'll add our bell peppers here as well. You could roast these if you wanted. I wanted to leave them kind of raw, add some moisture there. Again, we might add a little bit of moisture here to this. And we'll puree up all this stuff and let that go for a little bit there. We might have to scrape down the sides a little bit on there. But you know, once we add our butter there, we'll have a nice little moist, kind of thick sauce there. So let's go ahead and scrape down that. Man, that's looking really bright. It's going to add a really nice color there. So, excuse me. Got an almond stuck in the throat. All right. So now I'm going to add a little bit of moisture to this, just to kind of get a little bit more of a saucy consistency. I'm going to add chicken stock to it just because we're doing chicken stock or chicken in the dish. So we'll just add a little bit there, maybe.
Another reason to have chicken stock around.
Yeah, another reason why. Yep. Let's puree this guy up. I like doing the food processor because it gives some texture. You
Yeah,
could,
instead of the full-on puree with the blender, you're looking for more of just kind of a blend and
yeah.
still have a little texture to a little bite.
Yep. Yeah, and if you
Almost
want
like a hummus, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely a good way to describe it, Jimmy. Do that texture there.
Speaking of hummus, totally random. Sorry,
Yeah.
but Sabra has a chocolate hummus. I don't know if you've had that, but
No.
it sounds really weird. But it
Yeah.
tastes like raw brownie batter, which is
Oh,
amazing.
really? Oh, yeah. That definitely is. Oh, yeah. Raw brownie butter is amazing. Okay. So now we've got our chicken nicely glazed here. We've got some glaze left in the pan. That's fine.
Hold on, can you show me that again?
You bet.
There we
Got
go.
that
Yeah,
there.
good reduction. That'll give you a nice thick sauce.
Oh, yeah. I got a nice on there. You could do this same recipe with whole chicken thighs too. So let me give this thing a taste here, and we'll see what we're. Wow, that's delicious. Okay, so now we've got our good consistency there. So now we're going to take our herb butter here. We'll throw in some of that into there.
It's that compound butter we made earlier.
That compound butter we made earlier, yes, sir. All right, we'll throw that in there, and I'm going to kind of just add a little bit at a time here. Yeah, I think we need a little bit more, so we'll cut off another little disc here.
Yeah, and so what you're doing with that butter is you're kind of blending it in. It kind of emulsifies with everything, kind of pulls it together, right?
That's exactly right. Yep. We're flavoring it. We're pulling it together, making a nice little emulsification, and we're making it kind of richer in flavor too. And of course, with the butter in there and the blade chopping up the butter, we're really adding that herb flavor into our beets now. Now we've got a really nice consistency with it. Oh yeah, man. Season this up a little bit here. Some salt. I put some salt in the beets prior to roasting it, but I'll add a little bit more. Buzz it one more time, or we'll blend it one more time here.
Buzz it, zip it, blend it.
Yeah, make sure we distribute that salt flavor really nicely there. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh man,
yeah, butter, herb
wow.
butter. One of the secret, not so secret restaurant tricks to add butter.
Add butter.
So much better.
So there we've got.
There we go. Yeah, so very similar to hummus texture.
Yep, we can put that on there. And of course, you add more beets, and you could add more liquid too if you wanted, maybe like more like a tomato sauce consistency, and you could use this particular recipe as well in place of like a marinara or something. You make like a beet marinara, So, all right, let me clean down my cutting board here. We are ready to build a bowl here.
So it looks like all your components are good over there.
Yeah. So we've got our beets here. We've got our rice. We've got our glazed chicken. Actually, let me check this chicken here really quick. I'm quickly running out of silverware for some reason. So we'll. Oh man, garlic and honey. Who would have thought? All right.
Oh, you know what though? Garlic and honey. My brother-in-law Brian up in Idaho did last year started a honey fermented garlic, which was amazing. Flat out
does sound amazing. That
like,
sounds great.
Fermented just enough where you got that like the tanginess to it.
Yeah.
Still kept that raw garlic texture though, but then the honey just like absorbed all of that garlic flavor.
So did it?
And we
go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, that was it.
Did it kind of taste like black garlic, only
sweet or? No, not quite like black garlic, because I mean, more like a pickled garlic, like at like the pink garlic you can get at sushi restaurants or Asian markets.
Cool.
So similar to that, where it's got that tartness, but then the sweetness from the honey.
Yeah.
I got to get that recipe from him, and I got to start that up.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, I'm gonna move this back into place. Okay, so we've got our bowl. Again, bowls are kind of, you can throw as many ingredients in there as you want or as little. We've got all kinds of ingredients here. So we got some cherry tomatoes, we got some olives, got some chickpeas, and all this stuff is unseasoned. You could definitely season it up if you wanted to. But so we'll grab a spoon here. We'll throw in our scoop of our bulgur wheat here.
All right. Yeah, the great thing about bowls during the week, or if you're feeding a few other friends or something, is if you have a vegetarian friend, they can skip the chicken and they can go just with the beets and tomatoes and pumpkin seeds.
Absolutely.
Or if you're like my family, where I have one kid who loves tomatoes and one kid who hates tomatoes, you can pick and choose.
Yeah.
So makes it nice and adaptable to everybody.
Yeah, it definitely does. Grab another cutting board here. I'm going to cut up these tomatoes really quick. These tomatoes are kind of fun. They have 3 different types in here. Adds some really nice color to your dishes there. Nice. So we'll just cut those in half, make them easier to consume. And so thought we'd get a few more cherry tomatoes out of our garden this year, and haven't really gotten a lot. We've gotten some whole tomatoes. Molly, my wife, made a delicious marinara over the weekend. Tomato sauce.
Oh, nice.
Talking to my mom.
Marinara with fresh tomatoes is so good.
Oh yeah, it's excellent. For some reason, I'm getting a little feedback on our phone here. For some reason.
Yeah, okay. Getting a little echo.
A little echo there. All right, so we'll throw in some tomatoes on top of our farro here. A few there. We'll put our chicken on there. Oh, isn't that cute? Little wooden spoon.
All right. That is a cute little spoon.
We'll get, actually, we got some, kind of want to keep the colors separate there, but a smaller bowl, but that's okay. We'll put it right next to it.
Mix it all together.
Yeah, we'll just mix it all together here. A few pieces of chicken. Probably should use a smaller bowl. Okay, and we'll put some olives over here on this side, like so. Let's see, maybe we season up some of these chickpeas, huh? We'll do some
chickpeas, garbanzo beans.
Garbanzo, yeah. We'll do some chickpeas here with maybe a little bit of balsamic vinegar and salt and pepper here. Come on, there we go. Just a little bit there. And the salt and pepper there. Put those, kind of have all similar colors here, huh? It's all right.
Well, wait till you get that the beets on there as well. That
I know,
beet sauce.
Bright red beet sauce on there. All right, so we'll take a little spoonful of our little beet sauce here. Throw that right on top, like so. And of course, we get some Cilaginis here.
Those are the best. The marinated ones too?
Yeah, marinated ones. Excuse me.
A couple weeks ago they had that at Costco in a giant tub.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the 2-3 pounders or something?
Yeah. Yep. I should have gotten one. I didn't though.
Yeah, you really have to eat them quickly. They don't freeze well. All right, we'll just kind of scatter these guys around a little bit here. Yum. All right.
Nice.
Maybe take some parsley here. And
there you go, a little garnish.
Kind of yep, I'll just throw a couple of leaves in here. Like so. That's good. And there we go.
There we go. Farro bowls in under an hour.
That's it. Boom. One little chicken there. And said you can eat
Nice.
those individually, or not the best presentation, but still, you mix it all together.
Good to me. Yep.
Man, it'd be good.
Nice.
So, all right. So, recapping, went through an herb compound butter. We had butter and mixture of herbs in there. We did a roasted beet puree with that we added our compound butter in to add flavor, add richness, to go along with that nice earthy kind of sweet beet flavor there. We did our garlic honey glazed chicken, and went through and demonstrated how we kind of prepare beets, peeling and cutting, and cooked up some farro, so some bulgur wheat. So I think about covers it. Jimmy, you got anything else?
Nice. No, that looks delicious. Like a few of you have said in the comments, it's definitely a healthy dish, which is awesome. And like I was saying earlier, it's a good dish for the kids, especially like these last days of summer while it's hot out. We're all getting back to school and getting into that routine. So it's nice to have something just fresh and we went on a road trip, a camping road trip back in June, and my kids, after a week of eating stuff from gas stations and eating at restaurants, on our way back, they're like, "Can we just have something fresh?" I was like, "Yes,
wow. yes,
you can."
Yeah, it's like score parenting, nice.
Yeah.
Good job on the parenting there. Awesome. Yeah, this is something too where you can prepare these items, like on a Sunday, and you could eat it like on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. So works great for packing up lunches and kind of take do your meal prep on on a Sunday or something for it, and makes cooking during the week maybe a little bit easier. But
it's kind of nice getting stuff like this prepped.
Yeah.
It's nice getting stuff like this prepped ahead of time, so you can make a bowl, you can customize a bowl. If you run out of something, you can add another protein. Let's say you had some leftover some leftover steak or something, and you could take that and add it to a bowl, make it a little bit different throughout the week.
Absolutely.
And then on Friday, when you don't want to think about it, like you can just take it all, throw it in a pot, saute it, and turn it into some sort of stir fry or saute. And we call that cleaning out the fridge on Friday. So a lot of times we'll make a pizza crust and just take all our leftovers of prepped items like this, like the beet. Actually, this would make a great pizza. Take that beet sauce, spread it out, put some of those garbanzo beans, whatever chicken you have left over, some cheese, and do fridge pizza. So just kind of trying to give you guys some tips on how to reuse things and keep it going. So
yeah, definitely.
All right.
As my mom used to call it, cleaning out the fridge, garbage soup, or just make a garbage dish of some sort, cleaning it out. So
garbage soup, fridge pizza, fridge soup.
Yep.
Fridge goulash is my favorite.
Ooh, that sounds good. Definitely.
Especially when you get in the winter months and you have those thicker sauces and stuff, you just kind of make throw it all together, whatever you want. So,
yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see down here, but I got my order from Altamira.
Oh, nice.
I've been doing the Altamira doorstep, which is awesome. If anybody out there hasn't done it yet, check out altamiradoorstep.com. We've been getting their produce box, and we got tomatoes, cucumbers. I think I was talking about it last week, but the
Yeah.
mushrooms are amazing. I love the oyster mushrooms that are coming through right now.
Oh,
And
man.
then all the other fresh
Yeah.
veggies. So I think that's something
Yeah.
we're going to be doing every week is ordering from them.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. Maybe we can do something like that, you know, see what their box is and do something like that on here. See what we can make out of that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
All right, cool. Well,
all right. Very good. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us
everybody.
Today. Hope you learned something.
All right. And we'll see you next week.
Very good. See y'all. Thank you.